WBRC 6 News at 10 starts right now.
Family and friends laying Anitra Holloman to rest today. She's one of 4 people shot and killed in 5 Points South 2 weeks ago. They shared memories of Holloman while wearing her favorite colors, pink and white. After that funeral service, loved ones of Anitra Holloman met downtown to remember her life. Your reporter, Brady Talbert, caught up with family and friends, some of whom witnessed that awful shooting as they try to heal.
The celebration of life here in Birmingham began with a peaceful moment, a stark contrast to the violence that many people witnessed 2 weeks ago. White doves flying into the sky in honor of Anitra Holloman.
When you touch the dove, for some reason, I just feel like she came to me. Like, Mama, I'm all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to be all right. I think tonight I might just get me some sleep. I haven't slept in like 2 weeks.
Holloman's mother is surrounded by love as she processes her daughter's death. She says Holloman was a sweet girl with a big smile. As she hopes for justice, she wants the shooters to know her heart isn't filled with hate.
I haven't lost my faith. I don't hate them. I don't hate them because hate takes too much. Want them dead, I don't want them dead. Dead too easy. I know God gonna keep it covered.
This room is blanketed with pink and gold, Holloman's favorite colors. The family says this is a true celebration of life. Her sister believes Holloman is smiling down from heaven.
I feel like now that she see all the support and loving that she getting, I feel like that she more happy. Like everybody that showed out.
Including Tierica Richburg, Holloman's friend who was with her as the gunshots rang out. She says they had just walked down the parking deck to get in line for the club. She was shot in the hips, thigh, and a bullet grazed her back and elbow.
My wounds, they're all closing up, but yeah, it's bad. It was very traumatic.
She then got medical help, but it wasn't until the next morning when she learned her friend didn't make it. Some wounds heal, others stay with you.
From 5 years old to we're now 21, and that was forever my friend. we was always there for each other.
Holloman's mother says this gun violence must stop and the community needs to do better, adding that children shouldn't grow up. They need to be raised. Your reporter in Birmingham, I'm Brady Talbert, WBRC 6 News, on your side.
All right, Brady, thanks. If you know any information about what happened the night of the shooting, this is Birmingham Police's evidence submission portal where you can submit tips on the shooting. Scan the QR code that you see right there on your screen right now. You can also remain anonymous by calling Crime Stoppers at 205-254-7777. There is a $100,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest. And a 26-year-old man is dead tonight after Birmingham police say 2 people opened fire in the parking lot of a convenience store early this morning. It happened just after 3 a.m. in the parking lot of the Shell station on 3rd Avenue West. Police say John Darius Ward was trying to leave the store, but someone who was waiting for him started shooting. Ward died there at the scene. Police say a second person started shooting as well, and a second victim got caught in the crossfire and now has life-threatening injuries. Nobody is in custody right now. And if you were outside, you could tell it was pretty warm for an October day, but how long will these temperatures last? WBRC meteorologist Lauren Linehan joining us with your first alert forecast. Hey, Lauren, what are you seeing out there?
Hey, Lauren. Yeah, you know, as we look ahead to the work week, we're going to be getting a lot cooler, but first, we're going to be staying warm and dry for your Sunday. So still going to be seeing those warmer temperatures around. That fall cold front is on the way, though, and it will be here by the time we get into Monday. Now, we have had some tropical development. We've been watching for the Gulf to see if anything could happen, and nothing had really developed until we got to this afternoon, and we had Tropical Storm Milton develop, but that is going to stay to the south of Alabama. As we look at First Alert AccuTrack right now, we're already seeing some rain getting closer to the Florida Peninsula, even the Gulf Coast of Florida. This is all a precursor rain event. This is going to be rain that's going to be moving through before we even see the possibility of Milton arriving. But as far as Milton, right now it's a tropical storm. We just got in an update at 10 o'clock. As we move forward in time here, within the next 24 to 36 hours, Milton is going to rapidly strengthen, likely into a hurricane, and then you'll notice it stays to the south, and that's because we are looking at that possibility of Milton staying to our south because of the cold front coming through. So when you look at Milton really closely, we can see that along the Florida peninsula, that's where we're going to be seeing the possibility of landfall. And though this looks like it's going to be staying to most of the areas to the south of areas that were hit by Helene, we're talking in Georgia and the Carolinas, there's still the possibility that we could see Milton causing issues in areas that have already been inundated with storm surge from Helene when it came through. So this will continue to move towards Florida. We're talking the possibility of making landfall as a major hurricane on Wednesday, and definitely going to be bringing a threat of wind, storm surge, and additional flooding, since we've already got that event that is bringing rain here over the next 48 hours. So as far as temperatures right now here at home, we're much quieter, upper 60s, low 70s. We don't expect any impacts from Milton in Alabama other than a heightened rip current risk along the Gulf Coast. Now for tomorrow, if you're going to be going to Dega for the Yellowwood 500, temperatures are still going to be on the warm side in the 80s. But as I mentioned, one of the reasons we're not going to be seeing any impacts from Milton is because we have a front coming through, and that's going to keep Milton to our south. So this front will be coming in on Monday, and Monday is actually going to be a little breezy. Not only do we have Milton to the south, but you have that cooler, drier air filtering in, so winds will likely be picking up out of the north. By the time you wake up on Tuesday morning, we have a first alert for 50s in the forecast, and 50s are likely going to stay around. You see the low temperatures going all the way into next weekend. Could be really comfortable. So looking at that 7-day forecast for us here in central Alabama, it's going to be really quiet, still pretty warm for tomorrow. If you're going to be going to Dega, make sure you're wearing sunscreen, staying hydrated, because it's going to feel downright hot with that sun high in the sky. But we're talking a ton of sunshine in the days ahead. That cold front is going to be ushering in 50s, highs in the 70s. Make sure you check in with Matt Daniel in the morning for an update on GDA.
All right, Lauren, thanks. In Chilton County, a man is behind bars tonight after police found him picking up a runaway. The Chilton County Sheriff's Office arrested Keith Archie from Birmingham. He's charged with electronic solicitation of a child, traveling to meet a child for sex, and resisting arrest. The Sheriff's Office says this wasn't the first time this specific young person ran away from home. And in South Alabama, Troy University was briefly under a shelter-in-place order earlier today. An alert went out at 11:13 this morning. The order lifted a little over 2 hours later. The university says campus police responded to a call of a person with a gun on campus. Police eventually arrested a man who had outstanding warrants, but say that arrest was not connected to the emergency shelter order. Police say there is no longer a threat to campus. And back here in our area, more public safety features are coming to Miles College to protect the students, faculty, and staff on campus there. Representative Terry Sewell presenting an $850,000 check to Miles College President Dr. Bobby Knight for the new resources on Friday. The funding will be used to increase safety lighting, upgrade security cameras, invest in broadband-enabled security devices, and buy new public safety vehicles. Now, following that awful mass shooting in 5 Points South 2 weeks ago, Sewell says it's imperative to make sure young people feel safe in Jefferson County.
While there is no single solution to the issue of gun violence and crime, there are important steps that we can and must take to reduce the impact on our students. That begins with ensuring that our schools get the resources that they need to provide for the safety and security of the students, faculty members, and staff right here on campus.
Now, this is one of 13 community projects in Alabama's 7th Congressional District in the fiscal year 2024 government funding package. And we are still working to get more information about the purchase agreement between Miles College and Birmingham Southern College. Miles announcing in September they are in negotiations to acquire the 192-acre campus. This, of course, does not mean the purchase is complete, but it is a big step in the process. And there was a run for a good cause earlier today in Homewood. People lacing up their sneakers and participating in the Jimmy Hale Mission's annual rescue run. The 10K, 5K, and 1 mile runs raised money for the mission, which helps homeless men in downtown Birmingham. That was quite loud. I hope you're awake now. A stunner tonight for Alabama football, though, which just lost to unranked Vanderbilt, despite being the #1 team in the country heading in. Now, Vanderbilt showing their talent from the beginning, jumping out to a first quarter lead. Alabama made it close, but Vanderbilt beat Alabama for the first time since 1984 with a 40-35 victory. And Auburn heading over to Athens to take on the #5 Bulldogs. No surprise here, Georgia scored in every quarter to defeat those Tigers 31-13. And the UAB Blazers entered today's game against Tulane with a 1-3 record. They are now 1-4 in what head coach Trent Dilfer called a humiliating loss. Our sports reporter Jonathan Hoppy has details from Protective Stadium.
UAB was simply overmatched in this game with Tulane. They gave up 71 points here at home, and through 3 quarters, they scored just 6.
I don't know what else really there's to say. Obviously, an embarrassing result. Humiliating is maybe a better word.
Trent Dilfer visibly frustrated there after this game. Dilfer said he told his players they can't blame each other. He said, quote, "If they need someone to blame, they can blame me," end quote. The Blazers gave up nearly 500 yards of total offense to the Green Wave, and with the loss, UAB is now 5-12 in the Dilfer era. Coach Jonathan Hoppy with WBRC. You mentioned the city of Birmingham deserving more. What is kind of your message to the city and the fans that join you in the frustration after a loss like this?
Just that, they deserve more. They deserve better product. They deserve more out of me. So I'll continue to try to do the best I can. So it hasn't been for a lack of effort.
Things won't get any easier for the Blazers next week. They travel to West Point to take on an undefeated Army team. Your reporter in Birmingham, Jonathan Hoppy, WBRC 6 News, on your side.
Lauren, you could just tell how frustrating he was feeling, and I know that was a hard loss for them.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just kind of a crazy day in college football.
That's right, that's right. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching these digital shows. We appreciate it. You can get news anytime on the WBRC News app and WBRC.com. Our next newscast is at 5 in the morning.